Welcome to the Lose Weight, Live Life podcast. If you're a female professional or entrepreneur who would do anything to lose weight, yet finds it impossible to stick to a diet, to eat less, or just what you think you should, this podcast is for you. I am your host, certified life and weight coach, Clair MACKENZIE. Listen in to learn how to stop overeating, lose weight for the last time, and create a relationship with food and yourself that you love, all without diet deprivation and self-sabotage. Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to podcast episode number 73. I hope you're well. I'm doing good, thanks. We are in week 2 of the 10-week Food for Thought program, and I'm just loving seeing how everybody is showing up for themselves and supporting one another as well. Today's podcast episode is really encouraging you to check in with yourself to see if you're on track for being who you want to be in 2022. In early January, I ran a weight loss mindset coaching experience week so that those of you who were curious about a mindset approach to weight loss could experience what it's like and see for yourself how it's different to the typical diet and exercise approach. And so this is really a multi-purpose episode. I know that many of you who joined me that week listened to the podcast, and so this episode is for you in as much as it's an opportunity for you to take stock and reflect on whether you are showing up as the you that you want to be in 2022. And this episode is also for those of you who are maybe thinking that the year hasn't got off on the right track for you. And that could be because you set a goal that you loved and had great expectations for, but that got away from you when life came along, as life has a tendency to do. Or it could be that you haven't given any thought to who you want to be in 2022 at all, whether that's through lack of awareness or just because the idea of self-improvement maybe feels a little exhausting to you. So those of you who join me for the coaching experience week, or those of you who are in the Lose Weight, Live Life program, will know that I encourage you to put far more emphasis on the weight loss journey than on the weight loss goal. It's not about doing everything that you can to be a certain number on the scale, because as many of us know, if you don't become a person who knows how to not overeat on the way to becoming the number on the scale that you want to be, you won't have that knowledge and skill and experience to stay there. And I'm always talking about enjoying the journey because you want to create a relationship with food and yourself that you love, that works for you. All of this is what's most important if you're looking for lifelong food and weight freedom. And so today I want you to consider what it would look like for you to take that concept, the concept of focusing on the journey of who you are being, of how you're showing up, and make that the emphasis of whatever it is that you want to achieve in 2022, so that it's not just about weight loss goals, but any other goals as well. I spoke on the podcast last week about how overeating, cheating, binging has to be a part of your weight loss journey when you're wanting to make lifelong change, when you want to create a different relationship with food, because you need to experience all of the different reasons why you emotionally eat or overeat, to first be aware of all of them and to then help you put strategies in place to manage them the way that you want. And it's exactly the same when we're pursuing other life goals. But I will come to that in just a moment. I just want to say a word about as we get older, we get out of practice of being intentional, essentially just thinking about what it is that we want. We don't consider who we are, how we're showing up, whether we're being the person we want to be in our life, creating what we want, doing what we want, having the friendships and relationships that we want. And it's not always about striving for something better or different. Sometimes it's about reaffirming that you want what you have and allowing yourself to bask in the gratitude and appreciation of that, because that just feels so great. It feels amazing. Even before I started studying life coaching, I liked setting goals. I enjoyed thinking about what I would like to achieve in the different areas of my life: work, family, finances, health, marriage. I enjoyed spending time imagining what I wanted. It felt good. It was a bit like the joy and excitement of looking forward to Christmas. When we think forward to the future, we enjoy anticipating what it will feel like. The problem was that when I invariably didn't achieve what I set out to do, when I didn't live up to my own expectations, it didn't feel good. I would feel disappointed in myself or frustrated that life just seemed to always get in the way. And this was on a parallel to my approach to losing weight. Set a goal based on a mathematical calculation of losing 2 pounds a week for the required length of time, and then when I failed to follow the path imagined, feel so bad that I would turn to food for comfort. And as I mentioned earlier, when it comes to weight loss, it's not achieving the goal that's important. It's about who you are becoming on your journey to achieving that goal. And the same is true for goals you may have in other areas of your life. Whether you want the promotion at work, a deeper relationship in your marriage, to have a wider circle of friends, or to take up a new hobby, or to create an even more beautiful home, or to travel. It matters less what your goal is and more how you evolve as the person you want to be on your way to achieving it. What's your best chance of getting the promotion at work? Well, show up as the person who already has that role in every moment of every day. Now, not when you have the promotion, but now, right now. That's the surest, quickest way to help you achieve it. If it's a deeper relationship in your marriage that you want, then be the person who believes they have an amazing marriage today. So this looks like you imagining that you have the marriage that you want and then asking yourself, what would I be thinking? What would I be feeling? And what would I be doing if I had the perfect marriage that is different to how I'm showing up in my marriage right now? And then you just start showing up as that person and you will improve your marriage. And just as I was saying about overeating, whether it's emotional eating, celebratory eating, stress eating, or binging, all of those things are a critical part of your weight loss journey to help you become aware of what's going on for you and give you clues to the strategies that will help you overcome them to become the person who eats the way you want to eat. And the same is true when you're in pursuit of your life goals and becoming who you want to be there too. The things that happen in your life, your default ways of thinking and feeling, are a critical part of your journey because they show you the way to becoming who you want to be. You could think about it as a bit like obstacles on an obstacle course. You look for the obstacle and head towards it. The next obstacle is your path to getting where you want to be. You embrace it, at least I guess to some extent. You see it, you size it up. Not that I have actually ever done an obstacle course in my life, but anyway. And then this is what I imagine. You decide on the strategy to achieve it, scale it, move beyond it. You can't get to the goal, the end of the race, without overcoming the obstacles. The more obstacles you overcome, the closer you get to your goal. And of course, the more obstacle races you do, the better you become at doing them. And the sooner you'll start focusing on your life goals in such a way that you embrace the obstacles and appreciate yourself for moving past every single one of them, the quicker you will become the person who gets what she wants in life. Also, I think that often when we go about setting goals and thinking about how we want to be, we think we need to be focused and disciplined. We sort of like strive for some sort of perfection on our quest to achieve them. This is my natural tendency. Decide what I want and work hard to get it. What I didn't realise is that I was tough and mean to myself on the journey there. It was the total opposite of making the experience enjoyable. The journey would become a battle, mostly against myself, because of all the thoughts and feelings I had of judgment and shame, of not being good enough, of not getting there quickly enough, of not having anticipated the obstacles before they showed up on the horizon. So I want you to know that when I encourage you to think about who you want to be in 2022, I'm not suggesting that you task yourself with stepping into that go-getter energy or pushing through to achieve what you want at all expense, which you may well have imagined based on the obstacle analogy. But anyway, what I'm actually suggesting is that you show up as the person who is appreciating of herself, who has her own back, is her own best friend, celebrates herself for achieving new things, and having compassion while she learns from her mistakes. I love thinking about things in terms of evolution. I always have. I like the idea of things always being in gradual development, of always improving. And the way that I like to think about my life goals now is not in the achievement of them, but in who I am becoming and how I'm evolving as a person. I like to think about my goals in terms of the relationships that I have with different people and different things in my life. And then I consider how I show up for myself and others, all the things even in that relationship. So what I want you to ask yourself is, what do you want? When I ask myself this question, I think of things like fun, spending time with family and friends, supporting my children as they move forward in their lives, turning our house that we bought last year into the home that I want it to be, making new friends, going to new places, doing new things, having new experiences. All of those things. Last weekend, I was scrolling through the camera roll on my phone with my daughter. We were looking back at all of the things we had been doing a few years back, and I was just amazed that we used to do so much. And I think because of maybe COVID and lockdown, I've got out of the habit of thinking and planning to do things. And whilst I love to be spontaneous, it is far easier to do the things you want to do when you make plans for them. And of course, you also then get the added bonus of the enjoying looking forward to them, of anticipating it as well. You get that extra sort of extended period of enjoyment of the thing you're looking forward to doing. And so that's something I want to be different for me this year. I want to remember what it's like to think about doing things and experiencing all that life has to offer. So whether you're setting goals or New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year and what seemed important then has maybe been forgotten in the day-to-day of life, or whether you haven't given thought to what you want to create and who you want to be in 2022 yet, I really encourage you to give yourself the gift of doing that right away. So go have fun creating more of what you want and being more of who you want to be. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening. Have a good week and take care. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast and are ready to live a more intentional life, lose weight as a part of that journey, and create a relationship with food and yourself that you love, then I would be honoured to be your coach. There are 2 ways that you can work with me. You can join my monthly membership program, My One Life Academy, that gives you self-paced learning, supported by twice weekly live calls and a whole lot more. Or you can join the waiting list for my next 6-month Lose Weight, Live Life Group Coaching Mastermind Intensive. Go to www.thebestyou.coach/coaching to find out all the details.